Welcome back, live here on our world-famous Jiggy Jaguar radio broadcast. We are coast to coast and border to border on iHeartRadio today, AMFM247.com. You can catch us live each and every day at JiggyJaguar.com. 2 Central, 3 Eastern, 12 Pacific, and 1 p.m. Mountain Standard. And today we have a fantastic guest joining us on the telephone. And we go to the telephones. Ed, go ahead and give me a brief introduction on yourself, my friend.
How you doing? Thanks for having me on the show. Yeah, I'm Ed Soares, obviously. I'm the CEO of the Legacy Fighting Alliance.
Now, LFA is going to be coming to Wichita, Kansas, Friday, September 13th. Talk to me about, first of all, educate us on folks that have been living under a rock, what LFA is. Tell me about LFA.
Yeah, well, LFA, which is the Legacy Fighting Alliance, we are, I always like to make the comparison. We're kind of like what college football is to the NFL is what we are to the UFC and Bellator. We're the #1 developmental organization in the world. We do 30 live televised events all over the country, and we're the largest producer of talent to the UFC and Bellator.
Fantastic.
I think that's the easiest way to give an explanation.
Well, I'll tell you, LFA is probably one of my favorite MMA promotions to watch on cable. I discovered you guys actually flipping through channels at the gym a few years ago and seeing you guys on Access TV, and I was just blown away by the production values and the fact that you guys have some named people and people that if you're an MMA, you know, that they always refer to them as marks in the world of professional wrestling. But if you're an MMA mark, you're a big fan of MMA, you know these people just from the internet or from wherever. How did you guys become such a cult phenomena and then also became basically now a feeder organization to some of the big MMA companies?
Well, the reality of it is that, you know, I've been in the business for a while, and I've managed a lot of the top fighters, you know, all over the world. I manage Anderson Silva, Lyoto Machida, and I've always realized that when these young fighters are coming up through the rankings, that it was such a big jump from a lot of these smaller shows to the UFC or Bellator. You know, you sit there and you're fighting in a ballroom, and then all of a sudden you get a phone call. You're fighting in a ballroom in front of 700 people, and then you get a phone call and you're in the UFC, and 2 weeks later you're stepping into an arena with 15,000 people with lights, cameras, television, and all these things going on. And sometimes it could be a little bit of an overwhelming experience, kind of like from going from high school football if you were to go right into the NFL. It'd be a big jump. So, you know, the LFA was created to really not only develop these fighters and their skills inside the octagon, but also outside. So a lot of guys that are fighting on our co-main event, on our feature fight, or our main event, not only are we preparing them for the next step in their career inside the octagon by the types of fights we give them, but we also prepare them for what their life should be outside, because as a fighter, fighting is one part of it, but you also have the media commitments, all the other things that you have to do as a fighter that a lot of times these smaller promotions don't prepare them for, and when they step up to the UFC or Bellator, they get a little bit stuck, you know, and they're not sure what to do. So we try to prepare them in many ways, not just the fighting.
You have got a fantastic card coming to Wichita, Kansas. Why did you guys decide to do Wichita, Kansas on Friday, September 13th at Hartman Arena?
You know, the Midwest is always, you know, such a huge region for developing talent. And, you know, we've never done Wichita, Kansas, and we thought Wichita is a nice spot where a lot of markets can get to it, and there's a tremendous amount of talent, and we don't have any shows in that area, so we decided to come, and this will be our first show in Wichita, and we're really excited about it. And we have a great main event. We have Trey Ogden, who's 12-3, versus Nick Brown, who's 8-1. You know, Ogden is 3-0 in the LFA, which includes a dominant first-round rear naked choke against a guy named T.J. Brown. And if you're a follower of mixed martial arts and the Contenders, T.J. Brown is the guy who just recently got signed off the Contenders show. So, we're getting guys, like when you're talking about the future, it's like, our slogan is the future is now. So the great thing about when you're tuning into the LFA, like you mentioned earlier in the broadcast, is that, I guarantee you that every LFA show that you watch, you're going to see a half dozen guys or girls that are eventually you're going to see fighting in the UFC or Bellator.
We've got a great guest with us today. Ed Soares from LFA joins us today here on our big program here on iHeartRadio and AMFM247.com. He's talking about LFA. It's going to be coming to the Hartman Arena Friday, September 13th in Wichita, Kansas at Park City, Kansas. This building, Hartman Arena, is a fantastic venue for anything sports related. I think it is fantastic that you guys chose this building because you're going to have a heck of a crowd out there for this.
Yeah, we're looking forward. It's going to be, I'm sure it's going to be packed. And like I said, when we do shows in the Midwest, we always have a very strong following in there. Like I said, it's such a very sports, driven, big wrestling background comes from the Midwest. And
yes,
a lot of wrestlers, kind of transition into the MMA.
Now, you're going to be... When does the TV fights start versus the fights, the non-televised fights? Some of the local guys.
Right.
How does this work for people that are buying tickets that are going to be coming to see this? Because I know you guys are on Access TV as well that night.
Yeah, to go live, we go live. Wichita being in Central Time, so we'll go live on TV at 8 o'clock Central.
Yes.
So we'll probably start our first fights. Doors should open around 5 o'clock. Our first fight will probably be around 6 o'clock. And then we go live on TV at 8 o'clock, and the event should be over by about 10:30, 11 at the latest.
Wow. Now, how is it, as far as coming to Wichita, how long has this been in your guys' plans? Because you guys do events all the time, like every week.
2 weeks now. No, I'm just kidding. We typically, ideally when we get our television dates, we start trying to book out as much as we possibly can. But Wichita's been on the calendar now for, I would say, a good, probably about 3 months. 3 or 4 months we've been working on it. Ideally, we like to get the cards announced about 8 weeks prior to the event. So, definitely Wichita was one that we would have liked to have a little bit more time, but hopefully this show is going to go great, and that's a venue and a market that we're looking forward to possibly coming back to a few times next year in 2020.
LFA 76 is this weekend. It is Friday, September 13th at the Hartman Arena. You can get your tickets, LFATix.com. That's LFATIX.com. Now, with you putting these two name guys, Ogden and Brown, in the main event, do you run the risk of, and I don't know if this will happen, I don't know if it has ever happened, but have you ever had issues with not having local guys on your TV main event causing, ticket sales or people leaving early? How does that work from a promotion perspective?
I mean, I think every market's a little bit different, but yeah, all the time we end up having main events that have no local ties. At the end of the day, yes, we try to promote to the local crowd as much as we possibly can, but we are a nationally and internationally broadcasted organization. So at the end of the day, what's really important to us is putting on the best possible fights that we can, and to keep people interested and keep people that are tuned into it on TV excited about what they're seeing. And our goal is to keep developing the talent and keep being the number one developmental organization for the UFC and Bellator.
I think that's fantastic. That is amazing. Now, LFA 76 is coming Friday, September 13th. What's been some of the, I guess, highlights and lowlights of basically 75 LFA events? That's amazing, man, to be able to get to this number.
I mean, the thing about doing what we do, from our business, I feel like we're a little bit like a traveling circus.
Yes.
We're traveling around the United States 30 times a year. With 30 Friday nights out of the year, out of the 52, we're producing events. So, I mean, there's so many, highs and lows. But I can definitely say the highs outweigh the lows, and the biggest joy that I get is to make a difference for the LFA to make a difference in so many young fighters' lives. When I look at these fighters' career and I look at them, if they were a wall of success. If they were a wall, if the LFA being able to be one or two of those blocks that help build that wall of success really makes us happy, and if we can make a difference in all these fighters' lives, that's what we like to do, and that's what we are doing. We're developing, and I think to date, I think we have somewhere around 170 guys and girls that we've sent to the UFC.
I think this is an amazing opportunity for fight fans and for folks locally. LFA 76 is coming Friday, September 13th. Tickets at lfatix.com. It's going to be live on Access TV in Park City, Kansas at the Hartman Arena. Now, did LFA come before your television deal, or did the television deal and then LFA became a reality? How did that work?
Oh, well, actually, LFA. The LFA is one of the first organizations that, since their first event, we've been nationally broadcast. So
that's awesome.
The way the LFA came about was we ran the RFA, and then on Access TV there was Legacy Fighting Championship. And at the end of 2016, RFA and Legacy merged, and that's how we formed the Legacy Fighting Alliance.
Wow.
So we took, and that's when it was. So since our first event, LFA 1, which was in January of 2017, till the end.
That's amazing.
Now, we're televised, so we've never had a non-televised event.
That's fantastic. That is something you need
LFA,
to hang your. You need to hang your hat on that, my friend. That's fantastic. LFA 76 is coming Friday, September 13th. Now, you guys are going to start the fights. You'll have some non-televised fights that'll be just for local fans to get the crowd pumped up, and then you'll be live on Access TV, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific. You've got a heck of a lineup here. Well, what are some of the other fights that you're proud of that you're going to have on this show besides your main event, Ogden versus Brown?
Yeah, the other fight that's going to be a great fight is our co-main event. We have Chris Harris versus Joaquin Buckley, and Harris is a big local favorite in the Wichita market.
Yes.
This will be his fourth fight with the LFA. All 4 fights have been in the main event or co-main event, so he's a very good striker. Buckley, his opponent, has spent most of his career, his last 5 fights were in Bellator. He always looks for a KO, so I mean, as a co-main event, it's going to be definitely a bout that people are going to be excited to watch. And then we have also our feature fight of the night. Is going to be a bantamweight matchup between Eric Ellington against Jacob Trail, and this is 2 younger guys, who one 7-1 and the other guy 5-2, and both of these guys are going to be, it's going to be a scrap, and that's one thing that you can always count on with the LFA is these guys are looking to make a name for themselves, so they leave it all in there, and that's if you've never been to a live mixed martial arts event and you're in the Wichita area, it's a great experience to come to an LFA because you get the production value and you get to feel what it's like to be there live, but you have the intimacy of a smaller venue. So when you're there live, you can actually feel the energy. You can hear these guys getting kicked, punched, and just makes it. If you love watching it on TV, or if you like watching it on TV, you'll absolutely love it watching it live.
Fantastic. LFA 76 is this Friday, September 13th. in Hartman Arena in Park City, Kansas. Before I let you go, my friend, I know that you've got a lot of involvement in this organization, and you've put blood, sweat, and tears into this. But how spotlight some of the other people that you work with? How many people does it take to keep this train rolling? It seems like every week.
Well, I mean, we have a full staff. We probably have a good actually, when you look at the other organizations that are doing what we do, we run on a very shoestring staff when you think about it. But we have probably about, I would say 6 to 10 people that kind of are really behind making all these things happen. As far as from the LFA side, then of course our partners at Access TV, which handle the television, they have their group of people, and even though we're two separate entities as a partnership, we're really like one big family. So there's obviously a good group on both sides, but we've been doing, we do so many shows together that it's almost like we're able to finish each other's sentences. That's how well we work together.
I think that's fantastic. You guys are amazing. It's been fun to talk to you today. It's going to be fun to talk to the fighters live, see the event live on Friday, and tickets are still available. LFATix.com. That's LFATIX.com. Friday, September 13th, 9 Eastern, 6 Pacific, Park City, Kansas, Hartman Arena, Ogden versus Brown in the main event of LFA 76. Ed, it's been a pleasure and an honor to chat with you, my friend. I've been a big fan of yours for a while, so thanks for coming on the program here today, my friend.
My pleasure, and thank you guys for the support and helping market our event, and look forward to seeing you guys there this Friday.
Definitely. Ed, have yourself a blessed week, my friend, and I will talk to you Friday at Hartman Arena.
Thank you.
Thank you, my friend. There he goes, the head guy of LFA. Check it out this weekend, September 13th in Wichita, Kansas at the Hartman Arena. It is fantastic. It is Friday, September 13th, LFA. Check out LFATix.com for more information. And that will wrap it up here from this segment. We will take a time out and be back with more here on the World.